Joining us now in just a minute to talk about his experience at the Game Awards is the greatness that is SmashJT. Hello, Smash. How are you?
I am good. I apparently pissed off an entire portion of Blue Sky. In fact, all of Blue Sky. But that's a normal day for me. How's everyone doing?
Good, man. Good. We're gonna get to yours in just a second. First and foremost, your thoughts on Chun-Li as the casting of Chun-Li.
Come on.
I think it's good. Well,
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
What? I think that she's pretty, but yeah, I mean, those thighs could not crush a watermelon. That's for sure.
I mean, I guess, but
I have a Chun-Li behind me that looks way better, though.
I'm so used to movies just fucking it up beyond comprehension that
I saw another one.
Acceptance, where I'm just like, this is good enough. We'll take that.
Your apathy over here,
exactly.
which is good. Well, look, I long for the day very soon when Phoenix and I enter a theater on October 16th, 2026. That is the day. Mark it on your calendar when we get together, Phoenix. You see it right there. It says it right there. October 16th, 2026. Mm-hmm. You want to try the popcorn trick while we're there?
Yes, I do. 100%.
Sounds good.
It seems so far away.
Oh, like, that's a Friday. You guys can totally have a date
night. We finished wrapping filming already. Like, it's a year away after wrap. That seems like a long time.
Well, it's going to take a long time for all those great special effects, so it totally makes sense.
Good point.
Could have been done in 15 fucking days.
They should hire you, Phoenix. They'd be done in 10 minutes. It would look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I agree. All right. Well, joining us directly below me, not the first time that's happened. Let's go. Is SmashJT. And
this is a very awkward intro.
That's right. Smash, you did something yesterday which pissed off the internet, and that is you went to the Game Awards. You posted yesterday. Thank you so much for the invite to the red carpet tonight, Jeff Keighley. Great show so far. And you took a nice little picture there. First and foremost, tell us how this all came about. You were invited to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than I was invited to it. But yes, I was invited to the Game Awards, you could say. I already saw people coping over, he totally just bought tickets and that's how he went. Now he's saying he was like, no, I didn't pay anything for the tickets. And they're like, oh, well, then you did this and that. I'm like, no, someone who is in the industry connected with me and said, hey, you want to go? I was like, sure. So I went. It's really not too more complicated than that. But I do find it curious, the gatekeeping, now that we have opened the doors to let these creatures into our world, they have now shut the door firmly behind them. And when you dare try to just enjoy your hobby, they are the ones hardcore gatekeeping you out of it. I find that fascinating.
Well, some would say they would like to gape you, but I don't even. Weird. Okay, so you posted this, and the signal flare, the very blue signal flare went up, and Blue Sky was like, "What?" And they were not happy with this at all.
But to be honest, though, not to feign ignorance with all this, I didn't. Maybe I should have, but I didn't expect this kind of backlash. I thought it'd be like one or two people. Like, it is like thread after thread after thread, people tagging Jeff Keighley. I just saw people are linking my website, tagging Jeff Keighley, saying you can't let this person ever come back there. Like, they're trying to like cancel culture me out of the Game Awards.
It's because the mainstream industry doesn't want new media there. They realize that they're being replaced. They want to gatekeep it.
They're very, very afraid. Very afraid. Yeah, that is basically the best way you could sum it up. That's what it feels like. And honestly, here's the funniest part about it. I went there with my son, had the time of our lives. My son, a memory forever for both of us. A great show. Like, Jeff really did put on a fantastic show for the most part. I mean, minor quibbles aside with the DEI stuff and all the things that are injected into it that seems to always find its way. But overall, it was a great show, really entertaining, really fun. The pace kept up good enough throughout the whole thing. My son got bored every once in a while with the trailers that didn't interest him. But overall, it was a really good show. And I see the fallout coming after it of this man is a threat to people. People should feel scared around him. Everyone there should have been warned that he was coming. And I'm like, but what the hell are you talking? Like this straw man argument that people are making about me to make me out to be some sort of evil person. I'm like, nothing happened. I just went with my son. We had fun. Who do you think I am? What the hell are you trying to make me out to be? It's very, very fascinating.
Muted.
Oh, I wasn't going to tell him.
Oh, I think that's the thing that's interesting is this idea of you not being safe, right?
Yes.
That you are physically and emotionally harming people by being there. Just
Your
being
presence
distant.
alone just triggers everyone's snowflake emotions.
And just to be clear, so everybody's on the same page. Did you tagged says thanks so much for the invite to the red carpet tonight, Jeff Keighley. Did Jeff know that you were at the show?
I don't know. I don't know if Jeff knew I was at the show or not.
Okay. Just to be clear, it was more just tagging just for fun, right?
Well, I was more tagging him to say thank you for the welcoming me to the show is what I was inferring by that. Like welcoming. What do they always say? Inclusion, diversity. Isn't that what they want? So I was like, hey, thank you for welcoming the invite to bring anyone here. This is great. Great show.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody can argue that the show is not incredibly well produced. I mean, it is a professional show. But
you can tell, by the way, a lot of money was spent. A lot of money was spent. So people who were complaining about how much these developers were spending on trailers and commercials and whatever, I'm like, man, this guy, it looks like he spent a lot of that money to create the show itself.
Sure.
The show in itself was a spectacle. So I feel like if people just see, I'm sure he made a buttload of money too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
but the show in itself was a draw. And I think in future years, if this keeps up, then it does signal that maybe the industry is coming back a little bit to the gamers. And I know, Craig, you and I have spoken about this specifically, which is why the Real Game Awards even exist in the first place.
Right.
Is because we feel like it was being lost. I almost, especially combining that with how Jeff Keighley tried to trademark the Game Awards.
Yes.
I feel like that was a direct response and a shot at you because he saw you as a threat. And that didn't work out for him. So now it's kind of he understands if he doesn't get his shit together, he is going to lose to you. And I know that sounds silly right now because of the stark contrast in sizes and scope, but everything has to start somewhere. And he needs to be very concerned about that.
Well, I think a major problem that, was even highlighted this year and that has been highlighted in many years is that they're not prioritizing indies. Indies are being completely priced out. I mean, look at what happened with the Expedition 33 team. They had to try to snipe the tickets so that more of their team members could go. And that is a major problem with the Game Awards right now. It can have a high production value, but ultimately that does hurt the smaller guys in the industry. And unless Jeff Keighley and kind of the team behind it figure out a way to make that an easier experience for indies, I still think that's going to be a big problem, especially with how indies and double A's are now dominating. And I mean, look at the nominations this year. Triple A's were left in the dust.
And to that point, I think there's a huge thing to be said for that. Like you just hit the nail on the head. He's carving out areas to inject DEI, Girls Make Games, other random people coming on to talk about like random DEI stuff. I'm like, why would you not carve out sections for indie developers? Why would you not carve out indie highlights for even if you want to signal boost? Maybe he's afraid of this, but smaller awards won from these indie studios throughout the year and bringing them together and celebrating those on stage to be like, hey, we didn't look into these games, but they won over here and we want to at least point at them. I think that's a huge fact. And they even acknowledged it when it started. This is the most indies ever nominated for Game of the Year, 3 out of 6. but that still leaves a massive gaping hole for the rest of the indie industry.
Right.
It's like the drop off from the AA to the single A is massive. So yeah, definitely strong agree with you on that.
Let me kind of add my personal thoughts on what you said, Smash, real quick about trying to win, right? More than anything, with the Real Game Awards compared to Jeff's show, we just have to exist, right? And just providing an alternative is the most important thing. People go, well, nobody wants to watch your shitty award show, but some people do, right? We will not have 1 million live people watching on the live stream. We won't, right? But just providing an alternative is the most important thing. And that being an alternative creates change, which is maybe what you started to see a little bit yesterday,
Well, the other thing to add on to that is the video game industry is so massive that a single Game Award show cannot, just what Vera was saying, you can't encapsulate the entire industry in a 2.5 hour show. That's impossible.
Yeah, no, especially when you have these high price barriers, like I think it was $300 a ticket, never mind traveling and hotel and whatnot, or even considering, we want to show an update for 60 seconds, $450,000 is wild. And it's like, you had mentioned, the girls for the impact on girl gamers, whatever that section was called. I think that it would have been amazing if they had that section just for kids. Why not just highlight games made by kids? Why does it have to be about a gender?
Yep. Well, that was my major frustration with it too. And it's one of those you can't talk about it things like this. It's frowned upon to point at, so you have a problem with girls? You have it's like, no. But what about young boys that don't have the opportunity to get
just
into
have a section about kids. If you're raising money or all the money that's raised for these games goes back to their classroom, that'd be great.
Yep. I have so many thoughts. We don't have time to fit them on here on that.
Well, Smash, I did want to talk about the reaction to you going to the Game Awards last night. And it was pretty immediate after you posted your pick that you were going to it. First one came out from IGN's Rebecca Valentine. And she was the first to kind of crash out over it and be really upset. And she says, this guy participated in making my life hell for months. And I had it easy compared to a lot of others this year. Glad to see he's able to just stroll on into these rooms with people he's tried to destroy. Cool. Real quick, Smash, do you or have you ever, quote, tried to destroy anything or anybody?
Not anybody, no. I don't like certain practices in the industry. People are welcome to their own opinions. I've always said that. People are welcome to say what they want to say. And I should be welcome to push back and say, I don't like what you're doing, what you're saying, and I disagree how you handled this situation. For some reason, what I'm saying is resonating and what they're saying is not. So they're getting really upset at me because it's not fair. They're the brass, they're the power, they're the control. So why is some dude living in a shack talking to a computer have more people listening to him and care about him than what this major IGN company with all this millions of dollars of backing have people caring about them? And it all comes down to credibility. And they feel like because I'm resonating, I'm knocking their own credibility, to which I say, maybe you need to look in the mirror and reflect on what your actual credibility is if I'm resonating.
I think there's a lot of hypocrisy in her saying that you tried to destroy, people that you tried to destroy, when she literally, as Kyle points out, ain't this the bee who desperately tried to bury the monkey game with a racist translator, wasn't running from the platform and voting Astrobot or not. Now they expect to be able to dictate who's allowed to be in. And if you recall, this is the lady over here talking about don't play Black Myth Wukong. If you go and pirate it, that's literally trying to destroy studios based off of going back to this statement here, destroy studios, destroy people's lives. Yes.
It's okay when they do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You forgot. One caveat to that is they are the control. They are the power. They can do that kind of thing.
Well, and that's why they're so so defensive at this point because they see the end of legacy media. These guys are getting fired in droves, and if the Wukongs and the Expedition 33s and the Silk Songs win, but the Shadows and the, I don't know, Star Wars Outlaws
Yotes.
and the Yotes don't win, it just proves the divide that there is and ultimately what makes money. And well, if the legacy media dies, they don't have jobs anymore.
Yeah. Well, or they could just, I don't know, go independent, start their own YouTube channels. And
well, the problem is they're not personalities. Nobody wants to listen to them because they're narcissists. Right. So that's the problem. It's like, I guess technically they could, but I mean, we've seen other people that have allegedly been fired from places, right? And that say, oh my gosh, you guys are just grifters. Go and then do the same thing they say is a problem.
And Craig, back to your point on the Rebecca Valentine thing. I've noticed this kind of mantra from the professional games industry. I just shared a tweet in the private as well. And this kind of goes in line almost one for one with what Rebecca did as well. And we have Alyssa Mercante doing it now too, who's actively suing me. And this was today. She said, thank you to everyone who reached out and online and in person. I was at a watch party with normal people, which, okay, whatever. But it made me very uneasy and anxious. The man who has digitally stalked, harassed, and threatened me for nearly 2 years was in the room at the Game Awards. And she followed up saying, incredibly concerning, yet laughably pathetic behavior. I hope everyone he has attacked, called slurs, and accused of illegal acts who was in that room last night is okay. Jeff Keighley should protect his peers. So this is an appeal to Jeff Keighley to ban me forever from the Game Awards, using this as an opportunity to call attention to how bad I am, yet not provide any evidence, information, screenshots, or anything that I've ever done or said. Just the whole mantra, the same thing that Rebecca Valentine tried to do. It's like, he's a horrible person. He made me live through hell for the past year. It's like, well, bitch, if you wouldn't lie on your articles, there wouldn't be a problem. And then when you get called out for it, instead of redacting it, apologizing, you double down. That's even more of a problem. You don't just get away with it saying, oh, I'm victim here. No, fuck you. No, that's not how this works.
Hashtag believe all women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but I've
Smash,
noticed this trend where they keep like going back to the trying to build this idea around who SmashJT really is. He's really this bad guy. He's an evil person. He's a misogynist, and he hates women, and he hates minorities, and he hates marginalized people. No, I want the truth. That's all I care. Just get the truth out there. Shouldn't
Smash,
that be all they care about?
Smash, I'm going to ask you a really important question. I need you to answer me honestly.
What's that?
How many puppies have you killed in the past week?
I was going to ask the same question, Craig.
Thank you. Don't answer it. We'll let them ask. We'll let them figure it out. With that said, I did see Mercante, everyone's favorite waitress. Actually, I did see that tweet here. And I really keyed on the idea that Jeff Keighley should protect his peers. I mean, it says it right there at the bottom. Yep. Jeff Keighley should protect his peers. And I thought that's really odd. That's really odd because Jeff doesn't work in the fast food industry.
Well, I mean, here's the funny thing. I know you're tongue in cheek with this, but Alyssa Mercante was let go, mutually parted ways with Kotaku last year. And then in her lawsuit against me, claims that I'm the reason that she had to leave Kotaku. And not 1 year later is she back writing bylines at Kotaku and still suing me for the reason of she had to leave Kotaku because of me.
She sounds like a professional victim.
Well, right, exactly. And that goes back to how can I make this about me? Yes. I showed up in just for clarity, Smash, how many people were at the Game Awards last night in that giant auditorium?
I think it holds probably 8,000 to 10,000 people, something like that.
Okay, so let's just say let's say 5,000 just for fun, right? Let's say there's 5,000 people in there, right? Did you know, Smash, that according to these people, you were the biggest threat to them and the entire
my
thing?
son.
Yes, you and your son who are there just hoping to have a good time, right? Spectacular stuff. But here's the thing: Mercante was not the only person who felt very threatened. As a matter of fact, you have a thread of people who were so upset that you were there. This is spectacular, and I think we should just go through.
I don't know if we have time for this. This is a lot.
We're going through it, baby. So this guy writes for IGN, responding.
No. He does. He used to.
Okay,
writer.
used to. Put the fries in the bag.
Yep.
Someone should fight him, and he responded, "I'll do it." He continued. By the way, this person has a really, really, really big heart on for you. Like
He does.
Really,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do out there. It's fascinating.
legitimately wish I'd gone to the Game Awards. I had filmed our conversation, followed up with says, I think everyone should just go say hi to him. More tweets about this. God, fucking just let me run into this guy at a convention, please. What is this?
It sounds like coded language for someone that wants to.
It sounds like a threat.
To sucker punch me.
Yeah, I agree. It's
but
really,
they're not
really
the violent ones, guys.
No,
they're not the
no,
ones who would ever say anything
No,
like this.
You're the one that they attack is the person that's really doing all the violence when they're not really doing anything, but then they have to be like, well, I'll freaking punch her in the teeth or I'll punch him in the face. Like,
they would never want to fight anyone physically.
no, because they can't.
well.
They'd just be like, oh, they'd be like the old man from The Wedding Singer. I used to hit a lot harder.
Yeah, I used to be stronger.
I used to be much stronger.
We have this right here. This person says, sometimes I feel bad making fun of the Game Awards, and then I see shit like this. This person says, always make fun of the Game Awards. It's morally correct, which I don't want this guy being the arbiter of morality.
Could you imagine?
Especially when this person responds and says, I hope someone punches them. Violence.
Lots of violence, I've noticed. Where by mere existence, I just have a punchable face, apparently.
Yep. And Jeff Keighley has some serious explaining to do when it comes to this over here.
Which, by the way, if you're Jeff Keighley and you're reading through this and they're tagging you saying you shouldn't let this guy in, and he's reading the other tweets of, I just want to beat the shit out of this guy. I want to punch him. I want to sucker punch him. I want to bump into him. If you're Jeff Keighley, you'd be like, I'm going to keep inviting that Smash guy. I want to make sure these guys don't show up here.
That would be the best irony of all this is after all this is done, all these people who are literally threatening violence online are not invited in the years following because they are unhinged in their threat of violence, talking about, I just want to see this person in person. I would punch him.
Well, because in their head, it's justified violence. Because my actions to them, their brain has logically put it together like, well, if I can just shut him up, he can't hurt women or marginalized people anymore. And I'd be doing the world a service. I think that's how they have justified it in their head, which is beyond fucked. But
well, they also justified that you didn't get there legitimately. You bought this. This person says, I really like to get an answer from Jeff Keighley as to whether this guy is actually invited. Invited a guy known for serially harassing and tormenting numerous women into the same fucking room as many of those women. And this person said, on one hand, this is a blatant lie from a serial coattail writer meant to rile up people who care and reactions that he can mine for content. Jeff didn't invite him. He just fucking bought a ticket. On the other hand, this is legitimately a security issue.
there are literally lawsuits. That was the last part of it.
Yes.
Which is funny because I'm like, oh, so now just by simply throwing a lawsuit at someone, they're automatically guilty. Ergo, they shouldn't be allowed anywhere.
Well, I think the problem is that they would ban Smash first, because if they ban the other people that were threatening violence, they'd have to ban 90% of the attendees. So, yeah, I think unfortunately you're the one that's getting the boot.
I mean, you joke, but like that actually might be how we got here.
Yeah.
Like in this position. That's interesting.
So they need security for people that have a ticket? What? I don't understand the logic behind that statement. But then again, these people are not logical. So
right.
I think the funniest part is that if you've ever met Smash, like we did an event, and we got to finally meet Smash and I. He's like the nicest, calmest person ever. The most docile, like cool, calm,
I don't know. This is the first time
respectful.
I've ever met him. I feel very triggered. I think I should go.
I have that effect on women, apparently.
To see this dangerous man that everyone should hide their daughters and women and their wives from is kind of funny to
That's
me.
kids, hide your wives.
Yeah.
It's
My reputation precedes me.
right. I think that's the most amazing thing. You're right, Phoenix. Having dealt with Smash many times, he's just like this the entire time. He's
Hey
always
guys,
at
hey,
a
nice,
like
really
yeah,
great to be here.
good to see you. Hey, I would like to bring my kid and be a good dad. And
Yeah, Smash,
you know,
do you mind riding in the trunk because it's full? Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll ride in the trunk.
That's true. I rode in the trunk with you guys. Who rides in the trunk of a car?
Oh, well, we have other people here. This is, hey, Jeff, remember that time? They're calling you out, by the way. Remember that time you were paid, you were in and paid for a pitiful, sad knockoff of that game show because they claimed the Game Awards was some affront to gamers and Jeff Keighley was a hack, a fraud. What happened? But I guess that's a shot at us as well.
Yep,
also,
direct shot.
Yeah. Also, the Game Awards, remember that time this guy was on the same live stream watching the show with a Nazi who called Salim Studio unrepeatable racial slur that dated back to the colonial era and then stood by that man as he refused to apologize. That's who you have in your audience. Ooh.
Wow,
Hey.
that was an elaborate way to explain something that was a massive nothing burger.
Yeah.
Let's just take
Lots
a
of
fine-tooth
words.
comb and go through the entire audience and just unveil all the skeletons in their closets and just kick them out, throw them out.
A lot of
What I've
word
learned is
salad.
these people have nothing. There's none of these situations are actually anything. So they don't have screenshots of actual violence. They don't have screenshots. They don't have what do you call it?
Any tangible evidence
Proof?
that
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for like something like I was gonna say like they don't have any legal paperwork, but they do. They have legal paperwork of them being sued. They don't have anything from like the police. They don't have police reports or anything like that. They just have stories that
Well,
they
yeah, because
are-
they make their enemies. They create these battles and then they claim that they're the victim and they're fighting this, like evil caricature that they've turned you into. Like, ooh, you're the big baddie. Like,
I'm sorry to let them down.
they're
but I'm not-
insane.
I think
I
that's
dare to have opinions like everyone else on this panel. Holy shit.
Smash. I think the most important thing that you are totally negating in this conversation is that while there is no tangible proof and there is no actual data showing that you are just this horrible piece of shit, you are totally discounting the fact that they do have feelings. And their feelings were hurt. So for the love of God, Smash,
Apologize.
think of the feelings.
Do I need to
right?
apologize? Did I
No,
hurt their feelings?
no,
Okay.
don't ever apologize. By the way, congratulations. I did see it's 1 year. It's a 1 year anniversary of the lawsuit that was filed against you.
Oh, on the 1 year they asked for an extension too, which I thought was comical.
Oh, it's good. Congratulations on that.
Still going. This is a song that never ends.
It is. It's a song that cost a lot of money and it just keeps on going.
Yeah, I just sent another check to Ron actually, so it's still going. It's still costing money. Yep.
Oh, great. We saw this. It says, I guarantee this pussy wouldn't say shit to Eric Ishii in person. It says, shouldn't he be banned from the event? Absolutely.
I thought this was fascinating because this is one of those. No matter what you do,
Mhm.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
You don't say something. Oh, you pussy! You don't say something. You do say something. See, he's the guy we told you he was.
Yep.
It's like what? So by merely existing, no matter what I do, it's a problem. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
That's right. 100%. You are damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't there, Smash. Also, Nick Calandra had something to say about this. Fucking gross that they let him in there after all the videos he's made of the people in that very room. They should be allowed. By the way, take this guy
more
seriously.
violence.
Yeah. They should be allowed to throw rocks.
Wow.
The tolerant left acting so tolerant,
So
guys.
I feel like this
Yeah.
is a Mean Girls cafeteria lunch room, like the map, and they're like, "You can't sit with us."
Well, it's even worse than that because they want physical violence to happen to people. They want people's careers to be ruined because, of course, they have over the years tried to villainize anybody that doesn't agree with them. They call us racist, sexist, bigots, fascists. Marxists always call people fascists. Anybody that they don't agree with is evil, and they always try to call you the worst thing possible because that's the only way that they can themselves then play the victim.
They're
That's all they care
gaslighting
about.
themselves.
I like how you said they, them.
Yeah.
It's good.
Zezers.
It's good.
Caesars themselves.
Yeah.
So, well, I think, look, we saw this. If I can circle back on the original post here, Smash, from everyone's favorite waitress. She did say that she was flying in, and I got to be honest. Did you feel threatened at any way when you saw this was happening? By the way, she did say shenanigans, and possibly implying that there was going to be violence. I'm just saying.
I did see that. People shared that with me because I let people know in my circles that I was trying to go to the Game Awards, but I wanted to keep it on the down low because I didn't want people to try to get me banned before I went or show up and maybe cause a scene with me. I just wanted to go enjoy the night. So when I saw that, I was like curious, almost like that's a threat to me. If I dare to show up, she's going to be waiting for me there. I'm like, this is very strange. Like why is she allowed to go and I'm not? That's where, how, what? So yeah, I did notice that.
I think that's the biggest thing we should take from this is that while you were threatened by her being there, you were brave enough to face your fears in this situation. So, Smash, I really appreciate your bravery in this situation.
Well, it turns out, by the way, that she didn't even go.
What?
She did not go to the Game Awards.
No, she went to like a party.
Yeah, I know. Look at Craig. According to sources, she flew from New York to LA for the Game Awards and went to someone's house party.
She's going to claim she didn't go because you were there, but she probably didn't find out that you were there until she started seeing photos and posts of you being there. But she's going to blame her not going because you were there.
Wanted me to say something, and then she could have said, I feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to go. And then it could have been blamed on me. But I didn't say anything until halfway through the show that I was there. So she had nothing, which was classic.
She didn't have a ticket.
True.
Like, let's just be real. Like, she would have been there if she had a ticket.
That's a good point.
You don't fly across the country to go stand at the front door. That's
what she did. Apparently, she did fly across the country and then didn't get a ticket. And just, again, I don't know what she did, but as far as I can tell, she did not go to the Game Awards, which I thought was insane. Who would fly 3,000 miles for an award show and then not go to that award show? Unless, like I said, she was planning on blaming it on me because I was thinking of going but didn't say anything about it. I really do wonder what her end goal with all of this was. But whatever it was, the plan went to shit. It was terrible, whatever she was trying to do.
It's like she went there hoping that her crew was going to stir up enough drama against you when they'd like personally invite her, and then she'd conveniently already be there so she could just go. And then that didn't happen.
That's something too. Yeah.
I'm amazed by this whole thing. This idea of like saying, "Oh, you should protect Jeff should protect his peers." She wasn't even there. She's not one of his peers. Like,
she doesn't even go here.
Right. Exactly.
Secondly, wait, hold on. Secondly, why would you be one of Jeff's peers and me not? What makes you better than me? Why should you be protected and I shouldn't be protected? What is this rule that you're going by here? Well, I'm so confused by the walls that they've put up and the gates that they're trying to keep.
Well, you see, she's on an out. She, I guess, she still writes for Kotaku. Is that the idea?
I think she does bylines for them. Yeah, her most recent article was a hit piece against Jeff Keighley.
Oh, wow!
I know, right? Shocker.
So that's amazing. So if anyone's more of a threat, it would actually be her, the one who's literally, in the words of the IGN writer, trying to end this person's life. Literally.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far with it, but I would say she was very aggressive against the Game Awards cost of ticket prices, cost of the trailers that were being shown, how it was unfair to marginalized people and smaller studios and this, that, the other thing, bitching about Jeff Keighley's 6 Ways to Sunday, and then flies out to LA and goes to a watch party anyway for it. Which, if you can make sense of that, please let me know.
Honestly, spectacular, like true, like wonderfully spectacular. Well, look, Smash, I know you had a big night. So I want to give you a chance to go back and maybe cuddle up in bed. But we appreciate you joining. Anything else you want to say about your experience last night?
I was pleasantly surprised. I was going in with just no expectations, and I was like, you know what? They put on a hell of a show. Expedition 33 winning Game of the Year was very justified and great to see. And the fallout from the community surrounding it is entertaining. But it goes to show that the Game Awards that Jeff Keighley's putting on can be something if he keeps doing the right thing. My concern is he kind of tries to toe the line of, oh, should we be rewarding marginalized people for the sake of if they're marginalized? Should we be rewarding because you're a girl? We're just going to give you a medal because you're a girl. If he's going to start doing that shit again, it's going to fall apart. I got a hint of that this year, but nothing like previous years. So it remains to be seen what happens in the future. But as far as my experience with it, it was good. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very fun night. I had a great time with it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for walking into the lion's den, Smash, and coming out alive, unscathed. Congratulations.
I will say, one more thing.
Yes.
I didn't bump into anybody that I know or that knew me. Nobody interacted with me. But the people I did interact with while I was there, while I was standing in line, waiting for the doors to open, stuff like that, everyone was super nice. Everyone was super chill. There were a lot of nose rings. There were a lot of Smurf hairs of multiple colors. I didn't interact with any of those, but they were fucking everywhere. And that was my one takeaway. I was like, God damn, there's a lot of nose rings here.
That is your takeaway from this, for sure. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, thank you very much for going in the lion's den, buddy, and checking it out. And what the irony the fact that is the lion's den is silly. It should be a welcoming place for literally everybody, right? Because we want to be welcoming for everybody and welcome all these people in, right? I think that's the idea, right?
I think what happened, the fallout from that showcase, that the people who are actually welcoming are ironically us.
Preach.
Who would have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk?
All right, Smash. Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Everyone go check out Smash's channel. Link is down in the description. We'll make sure you guys go check it out. I'm sure you'll be talking more about that on your show, huh?
Oh, yeah. Definitely got a full night tonight. But in the meantime, guys, always a pleasure being here. Great to see all you guys again. And until next time, have a good one. Stay Smash.
All right, buddy.
Peace.
Thanks, Jeff.
See you, Smash.
Bye.
Your dad said you should watch this next video, and you don't want to disappoint Dad, do you?